What's going on, guys? So, this week's rotation's a little bit different than most. Some interesting stuff here. We've got a few things from some indie houses that are just stunning original scent profiles. Some kind of under the radar newer releases that kind of just almost immediately fell behind the scenes that not too many people really talk about. Some new release stuff, some just modern classic superstar stunning scent profiles. I got some, it was a serious week. It's week number 120. Stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, now I'm not the type to layer. You guys know that. But I just couldn't help myself with making a base of City Rhythm Frequent Flyer with Heart Spark from Shelter and Perfume collaborated with City Rhythm Fragrances. I actually did a live stream with Emily and Brian from My Two Cents where we discussed her other fragrances in the house, the inspiration behind Heart Spark. Heart Spark kind of takes the opening, the DNA of Shelter and Perfume's L, and the DNA Heart and Dry Down of Manhattan from City Rhythm Fragrances. You can smell the DNA in both combining to create something completely different. It doesn't just smell like the two combined. It smells like the two got together and created something that has the core of both, but its own unique thing at the same time. And then I'm not one for layering, but this is an amplifier. This is a base layer, essentially, with Frequent Flyer. So I just couldn't help myself. I figured, well, let's see what it does. I tried it with one fragrance already, with Icon de Parfum's The Valley, their newest one, and it definitely enhanced it. It brought out the amber and woods a lot more. With the woods and amber that's in here, it just enriched it quite a bit more. It made it pop off the skin a little bit more. And the same thing here. It made Heart Spark. It made the fruits and the sweetness in the top just rich and thick. And then once we got into that herbal, earthy tobacco leaf type of smell that Manhattan's known for, with a little touch of that violet leaf, it really enhanced it with this ISO-y super amberwood type of smell that Frequent Flyer was contributing. It's just definitely worth trying them together. This is great on its own. It's even better with Frequent Flyer. Frequent Flyer is not something I would wear on its own. I know it's something you can wear on its own, but I wouldn't. I don't like how it smells by itself on my skin, but it definitely does as advertised. It does enhance both fragrances I've tried it with so far. So get some samples and try this. See if this kind of combo works for you. But during the day, City Rhythm Frequent Flyer as a base, and Shelter and Perfume and City Rhythm Heart Spark. And then when I got out the shower, I wanted to mix it up. I was in the mood for this one. This is getting a lot of buzz. I know on Instagram for sure. A lot of people have been talking about this one. I am so glad to have a bottle of this. It is a pina colada in a bottle. It is Scent Journey Fragrances, Cocktails, and Catamarans. This is a beast. This stuff is a beast. For being a coconut, citrus, rum type of fragrance, watermelon type of heart, it has this melon smell. It's a beast. The ambroxan that's used here really propels the performance of this one as far as the strength of its projection and its staying power. It sticks around. It's an eau de parfum concentration, but it has the staying power of a pure parfum. This stuff just sticks 10 plus hours easy on my skin. And it's mega fresh. Aldehydes up top with all the citruses. It's one of the brightest, natural, authentic, believable citrus type of fragrances I've ever smelled up top, mixed with that crisp, bright aspect that aldehydes brings. And then you get this pina colada smell. You get plenty of coconut up top, but it really starts to settle into a pina colada. It's a beautiful fragrance. It really is absolutely worthy of a sample. This 50 ml will run you $100. They're not breaking the bank. It's priced right. It is original, which is rare with something fresh like this that is by the beach type of vibes. That's what this is. This is the story of by the beach, tiki bar type of stuff. You've heard that story before, but it's been told in a different way with this scent profile. So I'm very impressed. Definitely get your nose on this one once it really starts to heat up around here, this will be more of a daytime wear for me for sure. But out the shower, Scent Journey Fragrances, Cocktails and Catamarans. Moving into Monday, this is the one that I was saying kind of instantly fell behind the radar. And it's a 2021 release. Early 2021, I believe, is when this came out. Might have been late 2020. I didn't double check. Pretty sure it's early 2021, though. Boss Bottled EDP. Not too many people really talk about this one. It's blue Boss Bottled, basically. And you guys know me. I love blue fragrances. And I love Boss Bottled. So it just works. Naturally, I was going to enjoy it. The sage gives it that blue feel, almost that Eros vibe. The apple and sage kind of give it that. You still get the core of the Boss No. 6 DNA because it's apple spice, apple pie type of thing. But instead of cinnamon, you're getting cardamom. So there's a little bit more of a sweet spice, and that kind of plays into that blue, almost Eros vibes. It does smell like Boss Bottled mixed with Eros a little bit. You know, so if you like either one, you may end up really liking this one. Performance is above average without being some room-filling beast, but, 7-8 hours on my skin. Not real loud unless you spray it a little on the moderate to heavy side. 7+ sprays, it'll really pump for a little while for sure. One to be mindful of. It's like I said, it's not a beast, but you can overwhelm with this one if you spray it a little bit heavier. Nobody talks about it. And I think it's a great fragrance. It's already very affordable from discounters. Probably, now that Intense EDP is no more, this is probably the best of the line, in my opinion. Because it stays true to the DNA, but reimagines it for the modern era. Because modern men's designer fragrances, this is the path they walk. And at least they stayed true to what the original was about, which for a lot of the fragrances in this line, they didn't do that. They strayed away from that path for many years, but they've kind of righted the ship, in my opinion, and I think they actually did a really good job with this one. So get your nose on it if you haven't tried it yet. It's underrated. Boss Bottled EDP during the day. And then during the day, I had already sprayed this on my arm. I did a first impressions video. I sprayed it when I got out the shower that night. I've been spraying it on my arm pretty regularly. I'm almost halfway through the decant, being the new ACQUA de Joe EDP. Shout outs to my resident troll, Sammy. He sent this over to me. As you can see, I'm almost halfway through the decant. I'll run through this decant before I get a bottle. Man, we might as well spray it again. I haven't sprayed it yet today. Might as well give a spritz. I do really like it. It is a cross between the original and Profondo. It is. Redundant to Profondo, I'm finding it to be less and less redundant, but there's still some redundancy there. It's definitely one that I urge you, if you have Profondo, please sample it first, because I'd hate for you to spend, retail, because it just came out, and end up disappointed and feel like you have a fragrance that's too similar to one you already have. Because it's not one-to-one. It's not the same fragrance. Some people misconstrued what I was saying in my first impressions video, even though I try to be very clear in my videos. I can't force you guys to understand what I'm saying. I can just be as clear as possible. And I think that percentage that I gave in that video stands true. I think it's like 60% Profondo, 40% ACQUA de Joe EDT, because you do smell the original. It is the heart and soul of the fragrance line. This is truer to the original than Profondo, Profondo Lights, Absolute, Absolute Instinct. This is more to what ACQUA de Joe was about in the first place. Richer, better performer, more modern. That's why it has that blue feel of Profondo, but not exactly the same. I think the mineral notes mixed with the lavender really gives it that smell. That little bit of green mandarin kind of adds to it, that warm orange kind of feel. But it's not exactly the same, but I urge you guys, once again, try it before you buy it if you have a bottle of ACQUA de Joe Profondo. Because you may deem it no big deal. Nah, not similar enough. Glad I got both. Or you could potentially be disappointed that you feel they're too similar. So to solve that problem, you go to a department store, you secure a sample, something like that. You have a friend make you a small decant, like my case, and you try it first. Am I going to get a bottle? Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get a bottle. I don't deem it too redundant because with the amount of fragrances I have redundant stuff all over the place, and I enjoy all of it. Just giving you guys my thoughts to either help you along the way and either save you some money or steer you in the right direction. But out the shower, I've been spraying this pretty often for the most part, and then out the shower on Monday was Acqua di Gio EDP. Moving into Tuesday, a very polarizing fragrance. This is not going to be for everyone. I'm super digging this fragrance. Definitely try before you buy. If you can avoid blind buying this fragrance, you'll be in good shape, because some people won't like this. And some people are going to herald it as one of the best releases of 2022, which I will be doing with ROUGE Parfum's Apex. This is a stunning earthy green fragrance. The cypress note, the woods, the density. There's a bright citrus, but it fades quickly. There's a sticky cistus sweetness here. There's a lot going on. It's smoky. It's earthy and green. I love that about it. It's beautiful. This is smooth and refined. This is classy stuff. This is big boy. This is a big boy fragrance. This isn't playfully sweet. This isn't fresh and aquatic. This, and the spray, every time I spray it, it goes all over the bottle. It's a fingerprint magnet. It shows mist of sprays and stuff like that. But it fits the storyline that was created for this. Unearth your apex animal. Unearth the essence. I love the story. The scent profile fits the story. I think that's what I dig so much about it, is because the story being told matches the scent profile perfectly. It's earthy and out in the elements type of smell, and that's what the story of your apex animal, the apex predator, it really goes hand in hand, and performance is stellar. It's very much a loud fragrance early on, and as with most of their fragrances, it sticks to the skin. But I won't go into too much detail. Every time I've had this in a video, I end up rambling about it because I like it so damn much. Try it. Don't just blind buy this one. Hey, I can't control your money. If you want to blind buy it. I just don't think it's a safe blind buy. I think it's going to be very polarizing for a lot of people, but I personally think it was a fantastic release. During the day, the new ROUGE Parfums Apex. Whew, stunner, I'm telling you. And then from Acqua di Gio EDP the night before to the famed original the following night, Acqua di Gio. I've said it before, I'll say it again. All of its flankers are better than it, but it's a timeless classic. And, I said most recently, it's been in a lot of weekly rotations out the shower for me, because I really just wear it around the house because my wife loves the way it smells so damn much. I say I wear it for her, I wear it for me too. Of course, I'm not going to wear it if I don't like the way it smells. I love the way it smells. It's a piece of history for men's fragrances and perfumery as a whole. It's probably the most iconic fragrance Alberto Morillas has ever done. I mean, it's the #1 selling men's fragrance of all time. It's still crazy popular. It spawned a ton of great fragrances in its own line that I think all are better than this one. But it's nice to go back to it. I do think you're better off getting Profumo, the EDP, Profondo, any of these fragrances. I think you're better off getting those than this one these days. But if you have it, spray it and enjoy it. But if you're looking to rebuy it, I would say check out some of the newer flankers, because they're better overall. But out the shower, I went back to the classic, Acqua di Gio. Moving into Wednesday, some fragrances that don't get enough love. One's a clone, straight up rip off of Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. But at least it's a really good one, I gotta say. Not one-to-one, because the quality can't be touched from the MFK version, the original. But with Al Haramain, Amber Oud Rouge, it's hard to beat. This is good stuff right here. See the dent I've started to put in that. This is the one I wear the most. It smells like Baccarat Rouge. It performs great. It projects. It reaches out and grabs people. I mean, it's not some crazy compliment magnet for me, but I love the scent profile. I love the EDP's scent profile. I love the Extrait's scent profile. I think I like the Extrait a little bit more. It's a little bit sweeter. Less floral, if you will. Man, you can't go wrong here. I'm not saying it's better to choose the route of the clone, but in some instances I can understand why people would want to go that route. So I don't knock it completely. That's why I do feature direct clones here on this channel, because in some instances I wear them over the originals. And this is one of those rare occasions where I The little decant I have of the extrait, I save for just the most special of occasions because I only have 2 ml of it. Whereas I can just roll with this, and it smells close enough. It performs close enough. And I only paid 40 bucks for a tester bottle. It came in a white tester box. This is a great clone. A great clone. I've got a bunch of great ways to smell like Baccarat Rouge 540, the EDP and the extrait, and this is the best of all worlds in that situation. So if you're looking for what I deem to be the best Baccarat Rouge 540 clone, you should really get your hands on Al Haramain Amber Oud Rouge. It is top tier, in my humble opinion. And then when I got the shower, this is one of those Boss bottled flankers over the years that I was saying straight away from the original's DNA. Boss Bottled Night. Still a great fragrance in its own right. It's kind of a dark, almost smoky bar of soap. It's kind of how it smells. A lot of lavender here. Smells nothing like Boss Bottled. I mean nothing like Boss Bottled. It's birch and lavender, basically, is what you're going to get here. It's not a great performer. It's like a 5-hour fragrance. If you like soapy fragrances, you'll like this. It's kind of a darker, soapy fragrance. Like I said, it's most notably known for heavy dose of soapy lavender, very soapy, and that birch adds a nice dark smoked nuance to it. There's a few other notes, but that's really what it's all about. It's very linear. It stays that way pretty much the whole life of the fragrance, which isn't for long, 4 to 5 hours, like I said. Nothing crazy good in performance. It's not necessarily a nighttime fragrance because it has a smoky nuance and it's called Night. This is actually a great daytime wear. This is a very office-friendly fragrance. If you have to have inoffensive, more subdued fragrances in your workplace, this would be a great choice for it. Even better than Boss Bottled, honestly. This is a very, very safe, inoffensive fragrance for the most part because it's, like I said, it's dominated by soap. It's like a dark soap, basically. Smells great if you like that kind of stuff, which I do. I always have. And I go back to it from time to time. It had been a little while. But if you haven't sprayed this one in a long time and you have it, maybe give it another chance. Find some uses for it because it is a nice, clean fragrance that's a little bit different from every clean fragrance because it's smoky. It's fresh and clean, but still smoky. So that does give it a little bit of character, for sure, because it does get overlooked. This is a, bargain bin type of fragrance as far as price point, because you can get them for under 30 bucks in a variety of sizes, but nobody really talks about it. Not too many people really give it a chance. So if you can get your nose on it, like places like Kohl's and stuff like that, they have tester bottles of this. Get your nose on it. You may end up liking it. Out the shower, Boss Bottled Night. Moving into Thursday, I think EJ did such a great job. This is the newest release from Happy Land Studio called GAELIC Mist. Fresh, bright greens, a bunch of citrus up top, and a lot of oak moss. I mistaken it for maybe being kind of a lemongrass basil combo, but it's actually a oak moss grapefruit combo. But it had that lemony citrus type of smell, very grassy green. It does get more and more spicy and less fresh as it starts to settle in. There's a little bit of a creamy nuance here. It's woody. There's a little bit of a minty feel up top. Me and Joe from the Dry Down Lowdown both agree. We discussed it on IG. Shout outs to Joe, Dry Down Lowdown. It had a little bit of a minty nuance in the top, but it does kind of fade, but that's just because it's so damn green. This is a phenomenal fragrance if you like this style. It's aromatic fougere with kind of a heavy chypre touch because there's a lot of oak moss here. And it doesn't inherently smell like oak moss up top. That's why I was a little confused with the green note that it could be. But once it really starts to get into the early dry down, it pretty much distinctively smells like oak moss. Performance is stellar, as is with all of EJ's fragrances. He's really been hitting home run after home run. I gotta say, he's been knocking them out the park with these releases. The last several have been really good. They really have been. Shameless is still my favorite because it's just so damn versatile and great. But this is actually in the ballpark of how fresh Shameless is, just on a much more green, dressy occasion for the spring and summer type of appeal. That's where I think this is, like in the summertime, the main time I would think to wear this is with a suit. If you're going somewhere or you're in a workplace environment where you're wearing a suit, I think light gray suit with this really works well in the summer, or just a nice thin suit in general that's built for the heat. You're in a southern climate, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida kind of area. Alabama, Georgia, places like that. I think this is built for it. Really, really good stuff. You don't need a lot of sprays. It'll remind you of a citrus, aromatic fougere type of style without smelling inherently like any one fragrance. So EJ's very, very good about that stuff. Grab yourself a sample, try it out. Happy Land Studio GAELIC Mist. And then we got the shower, one of my all-time favorites. I was just in the mood for Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. You can never go wrong with this fragrance. Never, ever, ever. It's just that good. Modern classic. Modern classic. I love it. It's bright. It's citrus. It's a little smoky. It's peppery. It's aquatic. It just smells good. Compliment magnet. All-time great compliment magnet. For me personally. For a lot of my friends, too. I got a lot of friends that wear this one. I got a lot of former coworkers of mine that wore this every single day. And same thing. That's the reason they continue to wear it, is because people always tell them they smell nice, or their wife or their girlfriend loves it on them. Look, it's spawned a ton of flankers, which this is a flanker. This isn't, it's a flanker of Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. Way better than Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, in my opinion, but it's spawned a yearly flanker at this point, and it's still better than all of its flankers, in my opinion. Even the O Intense, this smells better than the O Intense. I smelled Forever the other day. It's kind of a tart grapefruit up top. It does settle in really nice. I think this is still better than that, too. It's better than all of them as far as smell. It doesn't perform better than all of them, but it smells better than all of them, in my opinion, and based on a lot of people I know their opinion as well that have tried any of the flankers anyways. All the flankers are good. They just don't smell as good as this to me. Maybe it's the nostalgia factor or what, but after all these years, still one of the best smelling fragrances ever made to me. Personally, anyways. Out the shower, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Moving into Friday, basically Coke float, Dr. Pepper float kind of smell. Sweet, delicious, delectable cognac note, smooth tobacco. Benzoin gives it this effervescent pop, kind of the fizz of pouring the Coke over the vanilla ice cream kind of things. Loads of heliotrope here, a lot of heliotrope. Give it this floral tone without being too flowery. It's really good, guys. Creation E, Parfum Cologne from ROUGE Parfums. This stuff, damn. It doesn't do well in the heat, but boy, the rest of the year this stuff works. Shines in the winter. Shines in the winter. But does really good in the, mid to late fall when it starts to cool down, and the early spring when it's still cool. This stuff is so good. Oh, man. And honestly, I like it better than its Parfum Pour Homme counterpart. This is brighter and fresher. It's even more effervescent. The benzoin, the way the benzoin's done in here, it's just so damn good. Must try type of stuff. This is a stunner. It's mass appealing. It's hard not to like, but it's quality on the top tier level with performance that goes with that type of quality level. This stuff is great. Some will argue the best of the Parfum Cologne line, and I can't argue against that. Even though it's not my favorite, Scandal is still my favorite of the line. It's hard to argue against anybody saying any one of the five is their favorite. If fresh vetiver's your thing, you may think vetiver's the best one. You may think Elysium's the best one. Danger, the most versatile. You may deem that the best. It's hard to argue against any of them, like I said, but there's a lot of people that this is their favorite fragrance from the house as a whole. And again, hard to argue with. It's that good. It checks almost all the boxes. I would not wear this at all in high heat. I feel like it's just way too much for that. Too much density, sweet, robust. There's just too much going on here for the heat. Very cloying type of stuff, in my opinion. Even in a climate-controlled environment, I would stay away from this in the summer. But the rest of the year, God, this is so good. It's classy, but not too serious. That's the thing. You can pull this off with a t-shirt, no problem, and you can absolutely dress this up and go out to dinner, go out to a bar for drinks. You can do all that stuff. You can go to a nice play, a concert, things like that. Hit the jazz club. It works for pretty much every situation as long as it's not really hot. My opinion, of course. I just think it's a stunner and it's a must try. You really should try this one. If you're only going to try one from the line, don't let it be Elysium. This has a lot more character than Elysium. During the day. Creation E Parfum Cologne from ROUGE Parfums. And then when I got out the shower, Haven't worn this in a little while. And I still love it. It came from here through the talents of master perfumer Claude Deer. Business over pleasure. My baby. I love this stuff. It doesn't take my breath away every time I smell it, but it makes me smile when I smell it. I still love the hell out of this fragrance. Thank you so much to everybody that purchased when these were available. It's so good. It does exactly what I wanted it to do. It's not offensive. It's easygoing. It's versatile. It's built for a business professional. This is a great office fragrance that doesn't smell like all the other office fragrances. You have some freshness. You have some spice. This ginger really adds kind of a creamy, spicy feel to go with the Florentine iris here that's powdery but not too powdery and floral at the same time. Nothing waxy like Dior Homme. Nothing soapy like Prada L'Homme. But you still get this nice little smoke nuance from the GAELIC wood. You have this lemony Palo Santo wood. It's beautiful. I love this fragrance. I love it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. And fortunately, but unfortunately, I guess you could say, they've been sold out for quite a while now. They're not available to get unless you buy it from a reseller. But I mean, that's your prerogative if you want to do that. I get average performance on this one. It was not built to be a beast. That was never in the cards for it. It's just great. I just love it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Everything I just said a minute ago, I've said a bunch of times. It's been a while since it's been in the weekly rotation, but I was just in the mood for it because I haven't worn it in a while. But out the shower, business over pleasure. Finally, on Saturday, I wore it during the day. I wore it to the gym. I wore it out the shower. I'm wearing it currently because after I wore it out the shower last night, I was just in the mood to keep the party going with business over pleasure. I love this stuff, guys, actually. Spray it in the air, too. I was inspired to wear it by my buddy Paige of Styles. He had wore it as his scent of the day on Friday. I shared the post on IG, and when I got the shower that night, I said, yeah, I haven't worn it in a while. Why not? And now I've like 4 wearings in a row. Out the shower Friday night for the gym. Actually, woke up. We went hike. I sprayed it before we went on our hike, me and my wife. Saturday morning, came home. We went grocery shopping, did a few things. Ended up going to the gym late in the day, which is rare for me. Normally I go in the morning. Sprayed some more on before I went to the gym. Came home, did a few things, took my shower, got out, sprayed it on, and started recording this video for you guys. So really these few sprays I just did were overkill, but why the hell not? I love it. I got a nice little scent bubble going right now. For those of you that have tried it, I hope you enjoy it. I really do. Thank you for taking this journey with me with business over pleasure, because it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for somebody that's really into fragrances. Because there's only so many of us out there that are really into fragrances. We're a small group across the globe. Rapidly growing, don't get me wrong. The space is growing as a whole. But at the end of the day, we're one of the smaller hobbies out there. But during the day, out the shower, to the gym, all day long, I've been enjoying TLTG reviews and Zaharoff business over pleasure. Well, that was this week's rotation. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. Those of you that are familiar with the format, you know what I'm about to say. I want to see what your rotation looked like. Please sound off in the comments. What did you wear this week? Did we happen to match anywhere? It doesn't have to be the same day. Just did we wear the same things this week? I love to see when that stuff happens. Like mine's, it's great when you can see things pan out that way where we were kind of thinking the same thing within a certain amount of time, It's just sharing the passion, sharing the hobby at the end of the day. And I appreciate everybody that watched. Until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances I wore this past week and you give them a spray now, I'm extremely confident you'll thank me later, because I only wore great stuff this week. Have a good one, guys.